Hi, I'm Mrs. Greno, and I'm going to be your online math teacher with Kenosha School for Algebra 2 Segment 1. So I just wanted to give you this brief overview of the course, just to make sure you're getting started with all the important information and everything you need before you jump into your first math module. Wanted to share a little bit about myself. So outside of doing eSchool or teaching online math, I have three children, so they all are part of Kenosha School District also. My oldest is Bella. She's an eighth grader at Mahone. My middle daughter is Gianna, and she's a fifth grader at Nash Elementary. And then my youngest little guy, who loves his sisters, is a third grader, also at Nash. So his name is Jax. So these three keep our family busy just with their sports and activities, kind of run around with them. But then also, besides teaching math, I also would teach fitness classes at the Rexplex in Pleasant Prairie. So that's sort of like a hobby for me. So let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at your course, Algebra 2, Segment 1. So this will be modules, you can see over here, 1 through 5. So when you log into your course, this is in Buzz, contains your courses. Over on the left-hand side, you will oftentimes by default have your to-do list, what is due or coming up. Know that you can condense that just to make sure that you always can come back to this view or all your module folders, your math help folder, your welcome folder. Also located will be your course announcements. So that's something that you want to check on a regular basis. Specifically on Mondays are when I update it. So I update it with my most recent kind of that week where I'm going to be. If I'm gone Thursday to a conference or something like that, that's where you want to be checking that. I also like to post pictures, little comics and all that. So definitely take a look at that on a weekly basis. Again, the course announcements. This is your landing page. So the first thing you should see when you log into Algebra 2. Reading through just getting started, but focusing on the eSchool's academic integrity policy. So this really deals with plagiarism. So I wanted to highlight that right off the bat, making sure that you've read through it, you understand the consequences, what is not plagiarism. With an online math class, big thing is that you're Googling or searching for questions and finding answers. There's a bunch of stuff out there on the internet, but knowing that you can't copy and paste these right into your assignments or into an essay type question, that's considered violation. That is plagiarism. And again, there'll be the consequences for that. So hopefully you don't have to deal with that. Knowing that really our ultimate goal is I want you to learn this. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel positive and successful. Knowing that in the end, you do have to come in to take that final exam at the eSchool office. By yourself, right, in that proctored setting, and that you're ready and prepared for that. So that is my goal. I want you to earn that credit, and that's always my focus of how I make decisions and how we interact is based on that, so that you can feel successful. First thing off the bat that I need you to do, so again, this is in your eSchool course, is your first folder is to start at the welcome folder. Which is for most eSchool or online courses, making sure you read through everything in this welcome folder so that you're prepared to do these last two things, the pre-course survey and then the first getting started assignment 0.0 before you jump into the actual math in module 1. Right off the bat is the course expectations. This is attached to your welcome email, so make sure you read through it. This might be something you want to print or your parents want to print a copy of to refer or reference. You can see my different communication or links are listed there. Also, almost like a how to succeed in this course, that's what this introduction is for, specific to math. So obviously doing an online course in general is a little bit different than face-to-face, but then also doing math and understanding that you want to stick with those due dates and work on that consistent basis so that you can have that opportunity to read a lesson, take notes, right? Do the assignment, get 100%, get a bunch wrong, somewhere between there, but being able to review your mistakes, maybe resubmit, reach out for help, and kind of continue on in that basis. As you scroll down here, course expectations, second thing is on the second page is progress reports, so read through that. Those will be emailed on a regular basis to you and your parent or guardian, kind of what your grade is, if you're behind pace at all, any assignments that are considered behind pace. So that's the main pieces of information that will be in that. Here's the Kenosha eSchool building, so if you haven't been there, this is where any tests you have to take at eSchool will be in the lab here at Kenosha eSchool. Pace charts really are your due date. So in your grade book of your assignment, from your start date to your end date is given a due date, and that's what sets if you're on pace or if you're behind pace. So you really want to stay with that pace and trying to stay with those due dates. There's no direct penalty. So if an assignment was due on a Tuesday, you turn it in on a Friday, you don't lose points with that. But again, the goal is that you need to finish by your end date. So you need to kind of space that out and stay with your pace that's set. Attendance policy with your pace charts is that you must submit an assignment at least every week. So again, successfully submitting work on a weekly basis, not going a week, not doing anything, or 2 weeks. At that point, it's really hard to be successful and earn your credit by your end date. Next up is discussion-based assessments. They're in every module. It's that opportunity for you and I to talk together over the phone. So yes, you do have to talk to me on the phone. And really just, it's usually towards the end of the module before you take your module test. It's a review. So I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to go over your practice test. You can ask me some questions. So again, I want to make sure you're prepared. I don't want to wait to the end of the final. It's that kind of checkpoint throughout the course to make sure that you're prepared and kind of keep us connected and keep us working together. That's not the only time you can talk to me, but that's for sure a set time at the end of each module. So again, you need more help. There's lots of communication on a daily basis that can happen prior to that discussion-based assessment. Your grade book is listed there. You can go into your grade book and review any of your grades. It's nice because in an online course, everything's there. Every assignment is already listed. You see everything that's coming up for this course, what you're going to have to turn in. As you turn it in, a grade is there. It says when you turned it in. So reviewing your grade book, always checking back on a regular basis for that. Late work and policies, you can read through that. And the two things that really are important in terms of being successful and getting the most out of this course, so that again, you're prepared by the end of the course. So you're ready to take that final exam. You know you are going to be successful. You have what you need. You've learned it through the modules. Is to make sure that you're resubmitting your work if it's required, which you'll see a little arrow in that status bar, and that you're also checking your feedback. So whenever you, again, submit an assignment, that you're going into your grade book or noticing when feedback is given and taking a look at the questions you got right or wrong. Sometimes just that's enough, right? You can see the correct answer. Maybe you jot that in your notebook, okay? You look at what I wrote to you. It might be a video, so watch this video, then resubmit, or just watch this video and add this example to your notebook. So using all of that on a regular basis versus just looking at everything in this course as a checklist, because that's going to be really difficult to, again, grow and learn and make progress and kind of build on all your math skills and concepts that you're learning here in Algebra 2. Final thing is just obviously taking notes, making sure, yes, you are taking notes. So I usually recommend just a notebook, right? If you want just a notebook as simple as that, a blank notebook just for your math course. And then you're going to see in our next thing in your welcome folder is lesson summary packet. So those two things kind of go hand in hand of what you want to have out every time you're working in your online math course. Final thing on the course expectations is your final exams. So final exams, you can read the specifics there. You are able to use notes for my courses, my online math courses. But part of eSchool is that you do have to come in and pass your final exam. So no matter what your grades are here, this is where it's really important that you're honest and authentically working through each of your assignments and modules so that you can come in and, again, if it's a two-part final, that the average of those is 60% or higher in order to earn that credit, which for segment 1 would be 0.5 math credit for your or towards graduation. As I mentioned then, lesson summary packet, go ahead. This is a PDF, open it up, click on it. I highly recommend, this is what I want you to print out. So if I could hand you something on day 1, it's going to be this document. Print it, it's kind of hefty, right? You can print it back to back, save some paper, staple it, put it in your notebook. So what this is that every lesson, so every lesson you're responsible for this course has a little mini lesson summary. So really the most important things from that lesson, again, not everything and not always examples. So that's where your personal note taking on each lesson is still going to be important. And writing, you know, when you do your assignment work, do it right in your notebook. So kind of keep a running log as you take notes and do assignments. Everything should be in order. So as you flip through, that's what your notebook is. It's that documentation of you throughout the whole course. But this is little mini lessons that you're able to reference. So again, most important notes. So print this out. If you have a problem printing it out, you don't have a printer, don't have access to it, We do have copies, or there are printed copies at eSchool, so you could swing by the eSchool and stop in the office and they can get you a copy there. You can print one off in that computer lab. But this will be probably one of the first questions when we work together for that first discussion-based assessment, or part 2 I will ask you is, do you have a printed copy of your lesson summary packet? So please make sure that you do that. So again, course expectations, you've read it, you feel good, printed your lesson summary packet off, check, that's in your notebook, you're ready to roll here. Now let's get you in the right mindset, and that's that math mindset. So read through this. So no matter kind of what your experience has been up to this point, up to Algebra 2, how you've done in previous math classes, I want you kind of get in that growth mindset, that we're going to make this work, right? If you work hard, you use your resources, and you want to learn from your mistakes, you're going to be perfectly fine here. And that starts with this checklist of habits that we'll kind of be reflecting on. So if you read through those are things that you kind of want to always be thinking about. Am I doing this? I'm struggling right now. Am I doing all of those habits to be successful in this Algebra 2 course? How to learn math norms, you can read through these, and then this math growth mindset. So check those out. Those are just to kind of set the tone here. Now for some things you need to do before you start Module 1. First is the pre-course survey. So it's a Google form I need you to fill out in its entirety so that you and we can learn a little bit about each other. Some of it's very just specific information, texting and whatnot. Some of it's more just you personality-wise, things that you're doing, things that you have going on. Fill this out completely, submit it. Once you submit it, you will be given a password. So it's important to take note of that. And then write that down. Obviously, if there's any problems with that, let me know. That password is going to be what you get to do, or you're going to need to access this first assignment 0.0. So your eSchool Math Getting Started assignment. You feel good about the course expectations. You understand the highlighted points. You can enter that password in here, and then it's just a quick true or false. Again, highlighting those main points from the course expectations. So that's the welcome folder. Next up is Math Help. So this would be a folder you're going to come back to throughout the course, but important to know what's in there. So there is a math resource website. So outside of this course, I have a separate website that I just kind of maintain for each of my courses, that I just give another opportunity for all your resources, your formula sheets, some lesson summary sheets, but also in each of the modules, just different websites that I found, not necessarily videos of myself, but from Khan Academy that I've collected specific to each of these lessons. So as you work through a lesson, you take notes, you're still maybe struggling with knowing that you feel confident with it. This is where these videos can be a supplement to that. So definitely check out that. Besides there are videos in each module. So there, in the beginning of each module folder, there is also videos listed. So you can see that there, each lesson referring to lesson 1.01, all of these. So you have lots of resources on top of the lesson. Know that within each lesson, the lesson is well done. So what you need is there. But again, we all connect and learn in different ways. So knowing that those videos can also add to your learning. Underneath the website is my contact information, so take note of that. Email address, you can email me anytime. Check your email on a regular basis. This is an online course, so email is like raising your hand to me. You checking in on a daily basis, your email, even if you're not necessarily emailing me. I have my own cell phone for eSchool. Here is the number. Save it in your phone. You can text me at any time with questions. That's probably the quickest and easiest way. But then obviously that's my phone, what we would use for discussion-based assessments when we need to work through those, unless we use something like Blackboard Collaborate, which is our online classroom. With eSchool, it's an online course, so I am not at eSchool every day. So the only time I am at eSchool is on Wednesdays from 1 to 3. A course that does not work with everyone's schedule, I'm in the lab. If it does, come on in. Students can get face-to-face help at that time. If not, then your other option for help is Blackboard Collaborate or some type of online meeting session such as Google Hangouts. We tend to use Blackboard Collaborate because you just have to click on the link and you can see it right underneath there in the Math Help folder because we're meeting in real time, but I have a whiteboard I can use. I can share my screen with you. So it's some very cool features, same as meeting face-to-face, obviously just more convenient for both of us that we can do it at any time. So I do have office hours on Blackboard. So on Tuesdays from 9 to 10, I am in Blackboard. So if you were working on your online course, you could click the Blackboard link and just jump in and know that I should be there. You could ask a question. Otherwise, it's by appointment. So just set it up with me via text, phone, email. I need some help. Can we set up a help session? And we can work with that. You know, pretty much I'm flexible even into the evenings, during the day, whatever works out for both of our schedules. So